Hi guys, Dr. B here. This is a really brief video explaining how to isolate for certain variables in our waves equation. So we know we have E equals H times frequency. We have E equals HC over lambda, and then C equals lambda times nu. So the way that these are written out, you can solve a lot of things. Some easy ones we've covered is if you're trying to solve for a wavelength and they give you the frequency, you divide both sides by the frequency to get it by itself, like that. Or, actually that's pretty, or if they want the wavelengths, you divide both sides by the, if you want the frequency, you divide both sides by the wavelength. However, it gets a little tricky over here in case if you didn't know. So if I want to solve for frequency and I'm given energy in the first one, I divide both sides by h, the Planck's constant, to get rid of it. So you have E over h equals frequency. Next one, this gets a little tricky. If I'm given the energy and I'm trying to solve for the wavelength, you need to rearrange the equation to do that. So one way to, it eventually ends up being the same result. So you can say just multiply both sides by the wavelength. And when you do that, wavelengths cancel out on the right side. Then you're left with the wavelength times E equals HC. Then divide both sides by E to get the wavelength by itself. So HC over E equals the wavelength. Or if you want to do it a different way, same result though. Let's say that we assume that E equals HC over lambda, but because we want to make them both over fractions, we just put E over 1. You then cross multiply. E times the wavelength equals HC. Then you're going to divide both sides by E to get wavelength by itself. Same result, slightly different way of getting it. All right, that's it for now. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.